Alright, howdy folks. So we had another little snowfall last night. I did not get to put on the plow because I was sort of in a hurry, but I promise we'll get a snowplow video by the end of the season. So we're just getting started here, and it started at around 20 degrees, and it was supposed to be around 40-45 degrees by midday, late in the early afternoon or whatever. It ended up warming up pretty good, so we're just gonna blast the driveways fast. While I do this, Jake is doing the sidewalks and stairs, and luckily we also have no wind, which means I can blow the snow to either side of the driveway, which is nice. Normally the wind comes from right to left on the screen, so I have to kind of delegate the shoot position all the time. So here I just normally blow it across, don't leave no piles in the street. So that I got a little lazy, I didn't lock the differential, so the rear wheel was spinning a little bit, backing up the driveway. So the hill, the camera doesn't do it any justice. It's kind of deceiving, but that's actually a decent little hill at the foot of the driveway. Not a big deal though. So you can see it's a 47-inch wide blower, so I technically can do the driveway in 3.5 swipes, and that's overlapping quite a bit. If we end up moving to a colder climate, I'll get the wider snowblower. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick with this one. Works just fine. In fact, this thing is a beast. So I feel, for me, this is the best setup that I need or use on snow. I've used trucks with plows, ATVs with plows, walk behind snow blowers, 24-inch up to 32-inch, and this has been the best setup I've ever used. So you can see it started out being powdery snow, but every pass it's warming up, so it's starting to get a little bit sticky. So just to save a little time, I edited out some of the backing down the driveway. So again, about the wind, normally the wind would be blowing hard here from left to right. So I'd be forced to blow the snow to the right. But today, I can do it all to the left, which was great. It's a little bit quicker and easier. So I snow blow right up to the front of the cars. And in a little bit, we'll warm them up and clean the snow off. But imagine if I had a plow. So when I have the plow on the tractor, we would either have to move the cars first, or I would have to drive up the driveway, back blade away from the front of the cars, and then try and get the snow pushed down the driveway. So having a plow on there would be a lot more work, a lot more passes, because of the position of the garage, the fences, the house, the stairs to the right. So, you know, in your mind you think, oh, a plow just pushes snow, it's easier. No, it's not. The reason we bought that plow, though, was not for storms like this necessarily. We bought the plow for the early storms we get are typically slushy, wet snow. So in that aspect, it'd be a little bit easier with the plow so the snowblower doesn't block up, which it actually plugged up once today, which I'll show you in a bit. So here, basically both driveways are done. So I'm just parking the tractor out of the way for a minute. We're going to clean off the cars, warm them up, and then move them out of the way, as you see now. Of course, I edited some of that out. So we basically just park them all on the grass. I don't like parking stuff in the street if I don't have to, especially when the plows are still coming by. So I'm just off the side of the driveway with the truck. Giving some last minute instruction. So again, this is a model 2320 2013 John Deere tractor. It's a compact tractor, so it's got a locking differential and it's also four-wheel drive. So the snowblower is PTO driven, but the chute going left to right is hydraulic. The deflector I changed from cable operated to a linear actuator several years ago, which I use a button just to my left to actuate, which today I didn't even have to adjust it because there was no wind. I was able to throw the snow up high. So here I changed direction only because I didn't want to throw the snow into the front of the coupe, which is fine. So now the rest of the passes, I'm just going to continue to shoot the snow in between the garage and the house. So you'll see a lot of people buy rear mount 3-point hitch snow blowers. I'm not a fan of those at all. I cannot turn around and operate this machine driving backwards. I just can't do it. I'm not built like that. I'm not flexible. So this machine has been super handy. We used to do several cemeteries with it, and we also did several driveways. So since, in order to spend more time with my family, I gave up all that side work, all the side business. So now all we do is our 2 driveways. So I got some stuff still in the driveway that I'm sorting out that I need to find a home for. I know some of this is a little boring, but a lot of people like to see, you know, a little bit more of the snow blowing. So here you can see I'm angling the chute towards that gap, but here I don't start the PTO right away. I'm actually pushing the snow with the snowblower until I get far enough up, and then I actuate the PTO. So that's a good thing about the snowblower too, is you can use it like a plow. It's just not as effective as a plow, but it does work. So here I have to angle a little bit. So I just missed the ramp and able to get in front of the entrance of the ramp. So we're also in the process of getting rid of some clutter and extra stuff that we don't use anymore. That's why you always see we got something going on in the yard. So again, depending on the snow and the temperatures, sometimes you'll notice that the snow is wet and heavy, it won't shoot too far, but most of the time it'll shoot like it is today. And I've had it when snow is in the right conditions, a little granular, that thing will shoot, almost 60 feet. I know some guys made comments in the past that it doesn't shoot very far, but you don't need to shoot it far. Snow blowing is better than plowing to me because you're not leaving big piles of snow everywhere, and you're able to pinpoint where you want to throw the snow. So now if I'm using the plow, I would have to drive up to the garage doors, back blade as far as I can, and then get behind it and push the snow down the driveway towards the street. Which is fine too. Okay, so here I drove out into the street and I'm just clearing the heavy wet snow that the plows leave in front of the yard. So by cleaning this, the next time the plows come by, they don't push a lot of snow in the front of your driveway. So what happened here is the snow is so wet and heavy at this point because it's getting warm now. The snowblower is actually blocked right now. It's plugged up. Instead of stopping, I know I'm finishing up here, the auger's still turning, so I'm still clearing the snow. You can see it just kind of like falling out of the chute. But it did the job, so I'm not even going to bother clearing it out. I'm just going to back right up into the garage, which is heated, so all that snow will melt right out. So we're all done here. So again, I'm not locking a differential, I'm just backing straight up. Tires are spinning just a little bit. And again, I never need chains on this thing. I got the weight box on the back, the ballast box, and between that and the turf tires, I never ever need chains. But anyway, this was a quick video. Thank you for watching.